Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 18, Sloka 66, Part 94. Sarva-dharmān parityajya, mām ekaṁ śaraṇaṁ vraja, ahaṁ sarva-pāpebhyo, mokṣayiṣyāmi śucaḥ. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. In the Purva Bhagam of this sloka, that is the first part of the sloka, we went through the meaning of each words in first two lines. Sarva-dharmān parityajya mām ekaṁ śaraṇaṁ vraja. This two lines is for one who is surrendering. The qualification for one to surrender must have mahavishvasam, unflinching faith upon the Lord. Secondly, unable to engage in practicing any other means, any other yogas, specifically bhakti yoga. Let's not get confused with the devotional service with bhakti yoga. We have elaborately discussed about bhakti yoga in the past sessions, which involves difficult tasks. Thirdly, not seeking any other devatas for granting moksha, and not seeking any other phalam, fruits, other than moksha. These are the requirement for one who wants to surrender. Mahavishvasam, unable to engage in practicing any other yogas, not seeking any other devatas, not seeking any other results other than the Lord's lotus feet. And this sloka is meant for such adhikaris, candidates, and that is what is emphasized in the first two lines of the sloka. The second part of the sloka, Uttarabhaham, conveys the message that Krishna, who never fails in his duties. In these two lines, there are 5 words. 3 in the first line, that is the third line of the sloka, and 2 in the second line, which is the fourth and last line of the sloka. Number 1, ahaṁ. 2, tvāṁ. 3, sarva-pāpebhyo. 4, mokṣayiṣyāmi. 5, mā śucaḥ. Now let's learn about the first word, ahaṁ. Ahaṁ means I, myself. Through this word, usage of this word, Krishna points that he has all the power and glories to release the living entity from all his sins. By saying ahaṁ, myself, I, is conveying his vaibhava, glories. Some think that Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma are protectors. That is not the correct understanding. Shiva, Brahma, and other devatas are incapable of knowing what is beneficial and what is inauspicious for the living entities. They are under my control. They do not even have the power to defend themselves. They are rakshakas by name only, whereas I am different from them. If anyone is hearing this for the first time, we strongly recommend to go back to 15th chapter and learn that thoroughly so one can understand what has been said here in this session. So, when Krishna says ahaṁ, he is trying to say I am totally different from others, which includes any devatas one may be thinking according to them as great, because they are not the actual protector. They are not knowledgeable as I am. I am sarvajñan, knower of everything. There is nothing that I do not know. The Shastras glorifies me so. I can hence see what is auspicious and what is inauspicious for those who have placed their bharam, burden of their protection at my feet. We remember mentioning this in Sharanagati session, that there are three components of taking refuge in the Lord. Number 1, Palasamarpanam. Number 2, Bharasamarpanam. Number 3, Swarupa Samarpanam. Palasamarpanam mean where one completely abandon the idea of wanting to have self-satisfaction in some heavenly planets and considering that to be the supreme end goal of religious practices. So the rejection of the concept that surrendering to God is a means to achieve that end where I can go to heavenly planet to enjoy myself. Rather, a truly surrendered soul realizes their complete dependency on the Lord and recognizes that the Jivatma depends upon and exists for the pleasure of the Lord alone. Then they give up all forms of egoism and spiritual self-gratification. One should understand that one is nothing to oneself, owns nothing, and does nothing independently of the Lord. One should renounce the idea of agency, that is kartritva, proprietorship, that is mamata, and self-interest, that is swartha. This is palasamarpanam as one of the component of surrendering. Number 2, bharasamarpanam, that is renunciation of the sense of personal responsibility in the act of liberation. That is having the sense of ownership, of thinking it is my duty to get liberated. That means one is carrying the burden of that responsibility. That has to be renounced, offered at the lotus feet of the Lord as well. That is bharasamarpanam. One must know that liberation is given by the Lord Himself, who is the way and the goal. It does not simply come to us by our effort. Sharanagati, that is the way of surrender, removes the burden of carrying that weight, which is self-effort. This is the second component of Sharanagati. One gives the responsibility, one renounces the responsibility at the lotus feet of the Lord. At that point, it is Lord's responsibility to take care of me, to get liberated. It is no more my burden. And the third component is Swarupa Samarpanam, the handing back of the soul, which is originally the property of the Lord, to its rightful owner. That is Swarupa Samarpanam. The Lord is the owner of his or her Atma, and he or she is not an entity gifted with swatantriyam, independence. This is a mindful act that is done by a Sharanagata. So the three essential components of Sharanagati are Palasamarpanam, Bharasamarpanam, Swarupa Samarpanam. And this has to be done one and only to the Supreme Knower, Supreme Controller, Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna's lotus feet. For those who wanted to attain the supreme abode of the Lord, the Nitya Vibhuti, where one doesn't have to return back again into this Leela Vibhuti, the material world. Therefore, when Krishna says ahaṁ, he says, I accept that responsibility to protect those who surrender unto me and have the power to place that Sharanagata in the crowd of those eternally liberated souls, the Nitya Suris, Nitya Atmas at the spiritual world. Because I am Sarva Swatantra, meaning I am completely independent, not depending on anyone else like any of those other devatas who are not independent. They are dependent on me. I am the Lord of all, without excluding anyone. All are my children. Therefore, I am ahaṁ, ready to wipe away the pain of the sorrows of those who surrender unto me, just like removing the layers of dirt accumulated on a grand piece of a gem. And I am eagerly waiting for the Chetanas, the living entity, to perform Sharanagati unto me. Krishna is saying ahaṁ, keeping these thoughts in his mind. We should know by now that there is no one in this world or anywhere in the entire creation who can bless me directly with the boon of moksha, except Krishna. Those great souls, acharyas, gurus, appeal on behalf of us at the lotus feet of the Lord to accept us. We can learn this from the story of Shabari in the Ramayana, where she waited until Ramachandra came to her ashrama, where she served the Lord as instructed by her guru, Matanga Rishi. He had told her to wait until Rama comes and serve him, then she can attain the spiritual world. That means her moksha was already reserved by her guru. Therefore, we don't see in Ramayana where Rama says that you may go to Vaikuntha, because her Vaikuntha Prapti is already guaranteed by her guru's appeal to the Lord. By mentioning ahaṁ, there are three things is being conveyed, three qualities of the Lord, namely omniscience, omnipotence, and lordship. These three are in particular very relevant to the situation on hand. Omniscience meaning infinite knowledge. This is invoked so to comprehend the state of the Jivatma prior to submission to Lord's protection, so that it is clear to the Lord the manner in which he is to be handled after Sharanagati. That means the background check is done by the Lord. For that reason, he needs to be omniscience. The result of the background check, whether it is good or bad, because he has surrendered, the Lord accepts him. Also, this quality of omniscience needed to handle this person after surrendering. The second quality is omnipotence, having infinite power. That quality helps to accomplish the desires of the protected and remove the obstacles in his path. His path meaning not Krishna's path, the one who is surrendered. And lastly, lordship. This quality is invoked to indicate the bond between the Lord and the individual soul, and also it indicates the inherent obligation of the Lord. What is the obligation? To redeem the object and enjoy the fruits of the Lord's endeavor. The owner has lost something. Now when he gets that object, because he is the owner, then by having that object back with him, he enjoys the fruits of his endeavor. Likewise, when the Lord, out of his bond, out of his obligation towards one who has surrendered unto him, he redeem us and enjoy the fruits of his endeavor. The Lord's determination to give protection to one who has surrendered unto his lotus feet cannot be changed by anyone. Even the devatas who are afraid that what will happen to their job if the Lord keeps accepting those people who are surrendered unto him. The Devatas feel if the Lord keep blessing everyone and give moksha to those who surrender unto him, then what will happen to their survival? They survive through the havish, through the offerings that are done in the yagyas, yaga and yagya. When they all gather together and approach the Lord, raising their concern, asking the Lord to reconsider, meaning not to accept, the Lord would not listen to them. When he doesn't even listen to his own consort, as we saw earlier, if she changes her mind and tells the Lord, reject this surrendered soul, the Lord will not buy in to that idea once accepted. And this is all clearly specified by the word ahaṁ. He is not questionable by anyone. His will, sankalpam, cannot be interrupted by anyone. He has the complete power to protect the surrendered soul. He is the only one who can give liberation. In the first half of the sloka, we had the word mam, and over here in the second half, we have ahaṁ. Both refers to Krishna, and both Krishna is pointing to himself. The difference is ahaṁ refers to the real state of supremacy of the Lord, while mam in the first half of the sloka pointed to the charioteer in front of Arjuna. The Lord assumed that subordinate role out of love for his devotee. By ahaṁ, he points out his real state and his supremacy. It is that Supreme Lord, out of absolute freedom, took the subordinate role as Arjuna's charioteer, that the farthest limit of which his independence could take him. Let's continue with the next two words in the third line. The next word is tvāṁ, meaning you. Krishna is addressing Arjuna directly, but we must place ourselves in that position. By calling out you, Krishna is saying, you who are ignorant of your affairs, meaning you are not knowledgeable of the truth. And even if you are knowledgeable, you lack the strength and capacity to put it into effect. Even if you had both knowledge and the strength, but due to your essential nature that is being dependent on me, that prevented you from saving yourself. Therefore, you surrendered to me as the only means. The reason I address you as tvāṁ, you, because through my upadesh, instructions, you have achieved the knowledge of Achit, Chit and Ishvara, that is matter, spirit and the Lord. I address you as tvāṁ because your viveka, the discriminating intelligent, has awakened. I address you as tvāṁ because you have understood the futility of chasing impermanent wealth and temporary happiness, and now you are disgusted with them. I address you as tvāṁ because you have now developed intense desire to gain the great phalam, fruit of enjoying me. I address you as tvāṁ because you have recognized that you are powerless to pursue the prescribed upayams, means which are very hard to practice, and there's a delay in attaining your goal. I address you as tvāṁ because you have now come to the conclusion that I am your only goal, to destroy all the obstacles that standing in front of your moksha, and therefore you have laid the burden of your protection entirely with me and performed śaraṇagati at my feet. I address you as tva because as a result of performing this Sharanagati, you now enjoy the state of freedom from worries, and you have vowed not to follow the prapatti, the Sharanagati upayam again for moksham. Now that you have come to the bold conclusion that there is nothing else for you to do, gain moksha. You are staying like a chataka bird waiting for raindrops, and you are awaiting the time of attaining me, joining me in the spiritual world. Considering all these factors, I, as your Lord, address you as tva with affection. Now let's see the last word in the third line, that is sarva-pāpebhyo. From part 37 through 42, we covered this word sarva-pāpebhyo in detail. Here we will just highlight them. This word sarva-pāpebhyo means from all papa, sins that are committed knowingly, unknowingly, in this lifetime, in millions of lifetimes before. Likewise, sins committed after Sharanagati, unknowingly. Krishna says he will destroy them. What are these sins? Can we see them? Answer is no. They cannot be seen. They can be known only with the help of the Shastras, that they are very harmful. Papam arises from ajnana, nescience, and that papam creates additional ajnana, and those additional ajnana creates further papa. Those additional papam generates ajnana, and in this way it keeps growing. They are like a huge flood. Like how the Lord's auspicious qualities cannot be measured, likewise our sins cannot be measured. At this point, it is important to restate what we saw during the sarva-pāpebhyo sessions, that the punya, that is the merits that is gained by performing some good deeds, also joins the group of papa. If this sounds weird, kindly refer to those parts of sarva-pāpebhyo. In short, we identify papa as those which yield naraka, hell, and we classify punya, those acts that yield the residence in swarga, heaven. We do papa, we get residence in hell. We do punya, we get residence in heaven. But for one who desires for liberation, even this punya falls into the group of papa, because it stops one to get liberated. Rather, they go to heaven. We hope no one is raising a question at this point at the end of Bhagavad Gita that what is wrong in going to heaven. If such question arises, kindly go back to chapter 3 to find answers. The word sarva, which is prefixed with pāpebhyo, covers the sins that to be accumulated from list of things. Number 1, avidya. This is a fundamental problem by which karma gets generated, and that karma generates additional avidya. Avidya means nescience or ignorance. Likewise, avidya feed karma, karma feed avidya in a cyclic manner, and they grow gigantically over the time. Number 2, sarva shabda also refers to karma vasana that arises from the enjoyment of worldly pleasures, and sarva shabda also refers to that desire continues towards those pleasures. The sarva shabdam also includes the papa that get generated during the jivatma's connection with the prakriti, that is the body. And also the sarva shabda includes all the sins, papams accumulated before Sharanagati and also after Sharanagati. So when Krishna says sarva-pāpebhyo, it includes all these types of sins that get accumulated, and of course the sanchita karma is included as well, plus the prarabdha karma. But to know how the prarabdha karma is being handled by the Lord, please refer to part 37 through 42. Swami Vedanta Desikan states that the Lord will kick away all the papams of a Sharanagata, just like the infant Krishna kicked and destroyed Satakasura, who came in the form of a wheel to kill the little Krishna who was resting. The sins are described in 5 ways. 1. As a dense forest. 2. As hell, narakam. 3. Visham means poison. 4. Scorching agni, scorching fire. And 5. Dark night. Let's see the reason. Papams are like dense forests, since it is very difficult to look for them as finding the path in a dense, overgrown forest. Secondly, since papam produces unbearable sufferings, they are called narakam, hellish. Thirdly, since these papam grow inside and act as a poisonous cancer, they are compared to visham, poison. Fourthly, since the very same papam scorch us as material affliction, the samsaric affliction, by birth, disease, old age and death, they are related to agni, fire. And lastly, the papam hide the real nature, swarupa, of the jivatma, and hence they are compared to dark night. For one who surrendered at the lotus feet of Krishna, Krishna says, sarva-pāpebhyo, without leaving any sign, trace of any papam, he destroys everything. With that, we complete the third line, ahaṁ sarva-pāpebhyo. In our next session, let's summarize mokṣayiṣyāmi ma śucaḥ, the last line of the sloka. Thank you. Hare Krishna.